Okay. Now, the next segment, you put a line there, because that's all content and theory. Now we talk about physically, how do you do this? Physically, how you do this, well, Mawadda is offering you a service of that first domino. That you and this other person are in the same ballpark. Okay? Once permission is given for the files to share, you also see their pictures. And I think in Mawadda, you should probably send more than one picture, right? I don't know if there's the option of that in the application, but you probably should, because people need to see, what you need to see different angles. Send you your best picture that you touched up on all your apps, and then the guy realizes, oh, okay, I got skimmed. So you have to be honest with these things. So ballpark and basic attraction is in that first. That's what Mawadda is doing for you. Now once Mawadda does that for you, the next thing that you do when you interact, I'll tell you what not to do. What you don't want to do is get very close with the person and start messaging and start talking about absolutely insignificant things, and you're just falling in love. When you haven't even discussed the major things yet and brought in what they call the stakeholders. There are stakeholders in every marriage. In most cases, someone was asking about a convert. Even amongst converts, you think that their family doesn't care about them? I mean, Orion, you're a convert. You can't just go get married. You got to tell your mom and dad, right? I mean, they're going to be involved to a degree. They may be involved to this degree, and other the parents will be involved to this degree, right? So they're going to be involved in some way, shape, and form. So the stakeholders have to be involved, okay? So there's no point in going head over heels with somebody, and the stakeholders that in your family, they don't agree with this in the first place. All right, you're bringing us someone from another culture, and we can't take this. I'm too old for this. Bring me someone at least from our region of the world. Your parent may say that, right? So that's all part of the vision. So the first thing that you want to do is have these broad meetings, and you don't want to start messaging each other and start falling in love and start talking about, like peripheral things, right? I remember one time I went to a meeting in Connecticut. Now, Connecticut is it's pretty mesquite, right? You don't ever want to live in Connecticut. The only reason you'd go there is, I don't know, you got accepted at Yale or something, right? But when I was in Connecticut, in Meriden, there was a meeting. And that meeting was to start the first masjid of the town. The town of Meriden did not have a mosque. They needed to start a mosque. So we're at the meeting. And I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. It's just regular people. About 7 people showed up. One guy was a CEO. Me and like 5 other guys. I'm telling you, by the end of the meeting, you know what we were discussing? We were discussing whether or not in the Islamic school that we have, we're going to be busing people, and which bus service will we use and how many routes. Like we don't even have the masjid yet, right? It's like, how did we go so far to some detail that's not even going to happen in any time soon, right? So nothing was discussed about, well, what is the purpose of this masjid? Is it going to have a set aqidah? Is it going to have a set message? What is the purpose of this thing? None of that was discussed. We went straight to, well, we have a masjid, then we're going to build an Islamic school. Are we going to bus the kids? And I'm telling you, not kidding you, a debate broke out whether we're going to bus the kids or parents have to bring their kids. We don't even have a masjid, let alone the school, right? So there was a CEO there. He was shaking his head. This is a joke, right? So I'll tell you what many people do. They start chit-chatting about the little peripheral cute things of life, and they fall in love with each other. You haven't even discussed the vision yet, right? You haven't discussed the vision.